What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NFL opening lines early lean show on Tuesday, December 1st. To watch the entire show, hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's move on to Colts, Texans. And that will be the last time I mention anything that Min has to say in the chat. Colts, Texans. Colts 7-4, 3-2 on the road. Texans 4-7, 2-3 at home. Energy Stadium, Houston, Texas. Houston opening up as 2.5-point dogs. That's moved to 3. This total opened up at 54.5. It's moved to 51.5. Colts coming off a 45-26 loss at home to the Titans. Colts down 3 key starters. The Pro Bowl defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, starting linebacker Bobby Okereke, defensive end Danico Autry. Derrick Henry torched them for 178 yards and 3 TDs. Before the game, the Colts had the league's best run defense. And I can't get information on whether these guys are going to be back from COVID. Not Okereke, but Buckner and Autry. I tried all day. Phillip Rivers was 24-42, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. T.Y. Hilton had his first good game of the year. 4 passes he caught for 81 yards, season-high 81 yards, got his first TD of the season. They could get nothing on the ground without Jonathan Taylor. As a team, they ran 21 times for 56 yards, led by Nyheim Hines, who ran 10 times for 29 yards. In addition to losing Buckner and Autry and Okereke, they played without center Ryan Kelly, who's got a neck injury, and Jonathan Taylor, who's got COVID. Left tackle Anthony Costanzo hurt his knee in the second quarter. Safety Kerry Willis left with a back and quad injury. They didn't come back. The Costanzo has an MCL sprain. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Cornerback Isaiah Rodgers and Kelly and Bobby Okereke are listed as questionable. Do you have – before we get into the Texans, Bebsy, let's talk about these Colts. I mean, can you just do nothing with them until you find out what's going on with DeForest and Autry?
Here's the problem with that is I think if you sit there and wait, you're going to lose the 3. Because as soon as Buckner is announced as playing, I think he'll change that line. So I almost want to jump on this now, first half and full game, because I really believe that those guys will be back. And I see this as a big bounce back spot for the Colts, especially given that Fuller, and I realize that Roby was not playing, but Fuller is done for the season because of Ed's positive test, and so is Roby. I mean, Roby was out anyways, but David Sharp is hitting the nail on the head right here. This is the only thing that concerns me is that it's only 3 points. And look, we've seen this every time it looks funny. There's something up.
I can't trust these guys are going to come back, though. I mean, COVID's tricky just because some people get it, don't feel it. Some people get it and, die. And I know when we're talking about, like, athletes, it doesn't affect them. But still.
We're not just talking about pro athletes. We're talking about pro athletes who they're getting that same cocktail of drugs and steroids that Trump was getting.
Yeah, no.
These guys get COVID and then come back to practice in like a couple of days.
No, it's a good point. Very good point.
I cannot see them not playing. I would be stunned. If you want, we can side bet on whether or not they're going to play. I'm going to say they will.
No, that makes sense. That's not a bet I want to take. But we have seen guys like, why is Calais Campbell not back? I mean, he's been out with COVID for what? How long?
Calais Campbell's not back because he's hurt.
So you think that they would have taken him off the COVID list? Who are the other? I mean, let me dig in for a couple more guys. But I know what you're saying is it's absolutely true.
There have been very, very few players in the league this entire year that have missed 2 games because of COVID. Very few.
Oh, I feel you. Intex asking where the money is. 74% of the cash on the Colts, 81% of the tickets on the Colts. The under has been bet hard. So we have over has 54% of the tickets, but the under is 75% of the cash. Let's talk about what's going on with the Texans. So as was mentioned, Fuller, Roby suspended each 6 games, violating the PED situation. Fuller is 10th in the NFL, 879 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, 500-yard receiving games this year, and he just destroyed Detroit on Thanksgiving, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Roby started 10 games for the Texans, 37 tackles, a pick, 7 passes defended. This has to hurt the Texans team that has won 2 straight for the first time this season, 3 of 4 with Romeo Crennel. They're on extra rest and preparation, but Bebsy, are you saying that these Texans are demoralized with these 2 guys being gone?
Well, I'm saying 2 things. I'm saying, one, you can't put a ton of stock into beating up a injured, bad, and angry at their coach Detroit team. And now Watson's lost his number 1 target. So, yeah, Watson's been playing great against garbage football teams. He's getting – look, I like Deshaun Watson a lot. I really think he's a great quarterback in a bad situation, but he beat up on Detroit. And before that, was it the Jags that he beat up on? Like, let's not pretend that he's all of a sudden, the second best quarterback in the league right now. Let's pump the brakes a bit on who they're beating. And look, this Colts team just came off a bad beating to a divisional opponent. They're going to come back and exact revenge this week on another divisional opponent.
15 touchdowns, 0 picks over his last 5. Watson, 17, 25, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns with Fuller. And as mentioned in the chat, no Cobb. So no Cobb, no Fuller.
No Cobb, no Fuller, and no run game. Look, this isn't me trying to downplay Watson. I love Deshaun Watson. I think he's great. I think he's a baller. I love that he went to Clemson instead of Bama because he said he wanted to beat Bama. I love everything about this guy. The problem is he doesn't have much around him right now.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
And he's going against a very good and very pissed off Colts team.
Yeah, agreed. And I don't even think you can take Cook props because it'll be like the situation we saw last week with the Vikings where Beasley, Johnson, and Rudolph. I only took the Rudolph prop, but I said we should take Rudolph and Beasley props, and they both went way over, and Jefferson only caught for 70 yards. And I think the same thing will happen to Brandon Cooks. Everybody's going to know he's the only guy available. Now, Kenny Stills is dealing with quadricep injury for a while. He's been inactive. He would help a lot. And he's not on the injury report.
No, he's released. That's why he's not on the injury report. They released Kenny Stills.
Oh, Jesus. When in the last 72 hours?
No, they released him last week, I think.
Oh, jeez. Okay. That makes sense. Because I was looking for him on the injury report. Yeah, released Friday. Okay, good call. All right, fullback Cullen Gillespie, back injury. He is inactive. So what you're saying is move on the Colts now. And
what I'm saying is, yeah, if you don't move on the Colts now and you like the Colts and Buckner and Taylor – look, the Costanzo injuries, that hurts for sure. That's a very, very difficult guy to replace. But, look, this defense is the reason that they've been great all year. So I believe they come back. And, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the only thing that makes me apprehensive about this is every time I double up, I get screwed. And every time I see a line that doesn't really make sense to me, there's a reason. There's something going on that this is close that I can't see. I don't understand. But, I mean, to me, this has to be first half, full game Colts.
Well, do you want me to line shot for you right now?
If Buckner is still not activated. But.
I mean, but then you could just buy it back. It's annoying, and it cost me $40, but I bought back last week, and then I hit with Derrick Henry, so I actually profited on the game. The Colts first half, there's a -1.5 at FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel. Would you like that?
Yeah, I'm going to double up here.
All right, Colts first half -1.5 and -110 at FanDuel. And let's see what FD, and let's see what I can give you full game here. Colts -3 and -110. We'll go to DraftKings for that. The FanDuel's -112. -3, -112. That's at DraftKings. Yeah, that double up makes sense. And I don't know how much. Yeah, I'll look into it a little more as soon as the show ends. I was trying to get information on them all day. Okay, let's move on. Double up for the Colts here. Is there any thought in this total? Because if these guys are back, if they're back, I'm going to take a team total under on the Texans. If back. So let me put this. If back, team total under on Texans. Okay, let's move on here. And that running game that Debsy was talking about, atrocious. So with David Johnson on the IR, Duke Johnson led the team with 9 rushes for 37 yards. It was Deshaun Watson that was the next highest with 8 carries for 24 yards.